right. Maybe we're back. Maybe we're not back. Here we go. Here we go. We're restarting. I think we're restarting. Sorry, everybody. I have no idea what happened. Hopefully you are back with me. Let's see what is going on. All right. Here we go. Okay. I'm back. I know it's going to take a minute for you guys to find me, so I'm going to recap where we were. In case you are joining me and you are like, part 2, where was part 1? Okay, so where have we been? We've talked about how this whole idea of I don't have any topics for videos is the equivalent of I don't have anything to wear. It's not true, and likely there's something underneath it, and we got to get rid of that first, because otherwise everything that I'm going to teach you here today isn't going to matter. Okay, so there are a number of different things that you can use as inspiration. Your posts on social media, other people's posts on social media, knowing your ideal client, questions that are being asked, whether it's of you or of your competition, all of that can be ammunition. And what you really have to understand is what you're trying to do is give them this much. You're trying to shift beliefs and give them aha moments, not teach how to, right? The how to should be reserved for your workshops, your programs, your offers, even your lives. But your social media content is a little teeny piece. And I gave you 10 different ways to start thinking of belief shifts. So that was all in part 1. And then we took any of those ideas and we shifted it. Hold on here. Where was it? And you can add anything. You can make anything a video just by adding hook, story, call to action to that idea. And we did a whole example on that. Okay, you are now caught up. And hopefully you are back and returned with me. Looks like only one of you made it back. So it is what it is. I'm so sorry. Like I said in part 1, I feel like this is one, I should have done this as a Zoom call instead of a live. We wouldn't have been disconnected. But, so if I can get 10 people to comment the word Zoom, hold on, I had this as a thing here. Where is it? Hold on. I know I'm all over the place. Here we go. Nope. All right, I'm not gonna worry about it. If you'll comment Zoom in the comments, if I can get 10 Zooms from 10 different people, we'll do a Zoom call next Friday. Not tomorrow, but next Friday. Okay. I was hoping to stall long enough to get people in, but that's not happening. That's okay. All right. I'm just going to keep going and know that this will be here for you. All right. So I wanted to take a minute and talk strategy. So this is this idea of where are we going. Now, if you want the whole workshop, I'll get you the link for the whole workshop. Okay. But essentially what you're trying to do is lead people somewhere. Okay. So this is where we start to get into funnels. Where you're leading people is to your offer. So you've got to know where you're going. And then you work your way backwards up. Okay. So, for example, you have social media that might lead people to a 10-minute video where you give a little bit more information, and this becomes your lead magnet. And that leads people to book a call, and then that's where you talk about your offer. This is nurturing people from meeting you for the first time, learning that little teeny piece that you put out on social media. They like it, so of course they want the 10-minute video. They watch the 10-minute video. They give you their email address. Now you can follow up. You can have a nurture sequence, whatever you're going to do. And then some of them are like it so much that they're willing to book a call. We got to get you good at calls. And on that call is where you start talking about your offer. You're not talking about your offer clear up here. You're leading people to it, okay? So that's high level what my video conversion strategy means. That's what we unpacked in the workshop on Tuesday. If you want the replay, let me know. I'll get it over to you. Type the word workshop in the comments and I'll get it to you. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to create all sorts of social media, whether it's posts or reels or videos or lives or whatever, that we can have this as our call to action. So do you see how that tiny little belief shift that you're doing here in these videos is leading people through this process? That's what we're trying to do, okay? So how can you then figure out this unlimited amount of content ideas? By using something I like to call the POW bubble, okay? And I'm going to draw it for you. It is way fun to do. especially if you are somebody that, and here's the deal. I always say this because you can do this way. It's fun. It's a way of brainstorming. I like it because it's very creative, but you can also just do this in a spreadsheet, okay? But the whole idea is that you have some concept in the middle, and then you pow bubble off it. Pow, 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 pow. And then each of these is a brainstormed idea. So what I want you to think about is, what is that 10-minute video that you're going to create? If you're not there yet, because you're like, Jamie, I'm not even there yet. Okay, then just pick a topic. A topic. Now, all of your social media becomes these pow bubble ideas. That list of 10 things that I gave you, 1, 2, 3, you're going to have 10 of them around there. All different ways that you can talk about this same thing in different ways, giving them teeny tiny nuggets, right? So this one could be the challenge. This could be the goal. This could be the dream. This could be the mistake. What else did we have? This could be the myth. This could be the first step. And you're going to brainstorm what those videos or content would be. Now, here's where it gets really fun, I think anyway. Each of these pow bubbles becomes another pow bubble, okay? So if I'm talking about this challenge, I can now pow bubble off of this. I just wrote on myself with marker. And these become a different hook. Hook 1, hook 2, hook 3. These pow bubbles could be 5 different stories. Same concept, 5 different stories, 5 different hooks. Do you see how this multiplies this single idea, and now you can do it multiple different ways? Now, you wouldn't necessarily do it back to back, but this is a great way to binge create content. So you come up with a single challenge idea, and you record 4 different videos, all on the same thing. Different stories, different hooks, and now you spread them out over 1 a week or 1 a month. You got content forever this way. Okay, this is how you pow bubble. This is what I will help you with if you want that Zoom call on Friday. If you need help, here's what I want you to do though. I want you to try and do this yourself. Try and map this out. Pick one topic, pow bubble out, pow bubble again. Bring that Friday. Remember, I got to get 10 people to say Zoom or I won't schedule the Zoom call. I know I'm going to get 10. There will easily be 10 people that'll get on a Zoom call. Yes, or will want a Zoom call. Bring that and I'll help you more. I'll help you with the nuances in here. Okay? Okay. For those of you that are on, what questions do you have about this so far? Whether it's the strategy, hook, story, call to action, whether it's the pow bubbles, what questions are coming up? No questions. Okay, so I want you to think about it a little bit differently. What part of this process, again, where the ideas come from, the 10 different ways to belief shift, the hook, story, call to action, the video strategy, the pow bubbles, which one is going to be challenging or difficult for you? And why? I really want you to think about that because that's what I need to help you with. That's what we can do. If you want to DM me and message me, I'm happy to talk to you about it. If we want to do it on a Zoom call, we can do that too. What of all of this is making you be like, okay, I don't know quite how to do this? Because I can sit here and tell you all of this information, but it's the application that matters. If you can't go out and do it, I've got to help you with this. So think about that. Okay. Carol has no questions. I love it. Okay, if you have questions, I know we got interrupted. I don't know if it was internet or Facebook or what went wonky, but if you have questions, if you're finally catching up on this, drop them in the comments, and I'll either answer them in the comments or we'll do that Zoom call. Okay? Okay. Now, couple last things, and then we will wrap up today. I told you this would be a longer one. I want to address the elephant in the room, and that is what happens if you have crappy video presentation skills? What happens if you're just not good at video? We got to fix this. That's the truth, okay? Because if you don't keep people on long enough on your video, if they don't watch all the way through to your call to action, they're not going to take that action because they never hear it. And a very small portion of people actually get all the way through. And the stronger your video skills are, the more people that will get through that, and the more people that will book calls, and the more people that will reach out, and the more people that will comment. That's what we've got to make happen. Okay? So I just want to make sure that you understand that, yes, I can give you all of these strategies and we can figure out all of this kind of stuff, but you've got to be able to communicate in video. And oftentimes what I hear from people is, I just suck at video. Here's the deal. Everyone sucks. Everyone sucks at video. We all suck at the beginning. You could go and look at my first few videos that I ever did. They're horrible. Everybody's are horrible because this is one of those skills that you get better by doing it. The more you do it, the more you practice, the better you get. You also need a framework. Once you learn how to do it, it becomes so much easier, right? Just knowing hook, story, call to action will be transformational for many of you. But there is so much more to actually getting videos that actually are compelling and drive people to actually convert and get what you want. Okay? So just make sure you understand you need both sides. You need the strategy and you need the presentation skills. You got to have both. They won't work without the other. Okay? Okay. If this is something that you want to learn from me, I have a new program coming out, Sparkle and Shine. Well, it's not new. It's a new cohort. I've done this before. This is a new cohort, Sparkle and Shine, just in time for the holidays. So if you want to hit the ground running with this exact strategy that we've been talking about, come and join me for Sparkle and Shine. And you'll be off and going way before the holidays. But definitely by 2026, which just boggles my mind that we're already 2026. If you want to know more about this program, message me. I'm happy to talk about it, okay? So bottom line is this. Hopefully what you realize today is that there are unlimited ideas. You have plenty of ideas. You are likely overthinking it. You are likely making it all about how to. You are likely making it way harder than it needs to. So I'm hoping you got some nuggets, some tips and tricks that you can immediately apply to create better videos. Because when you create better videos, you get clients. Here's what happens. When you start producing better videos, you start to get engagement. People start commenting on stuff. And you start to think, wow, they really like this stuff. You get a confidence boost. So what do? More videos. You keep going. You are more consistent because it's actually working. And the more consistent you are, then the algorithm kicks in and says, let me help you with this. Now it's showing your videos to more people because it is deemed as quality video because you're getting the engagement. And when you have a strategy, I won't be able to find my flip chart fast enough, I don't think. When you have a strategy in place and you're actually leading people through your sales process, through your sales funnel, you get clients. That's the power of better videos. And I want you to have better videos. I want you to love video because when you love doing video, you'll actually do it. And that's where we start. All right, everybody, thank you for being here. So sorry about the interruptions. I don't know what's going on. Again, if you would be interested in getting on a Zoom call with me next Friday to talk more about any of this, if I can get 10 people to say Zoom in the comments, I'll get it scheduled. All right, thank you for being here. Happy Halloween. See you next time. Bye, guys.